Please welcome Mr. Heitor Ramon Ribeiro.
Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's having a very pleasant day or night, depending on time zone. My name is Heitor. I'm from Brazil. I represent the Vue Storefront team. I'm the main developer on the Magento integration. I'm the head of open source of Vue Storefront. I'm here to present more of the Vue Storefront and the Magento integration to you. Let me present to you the Vue Storefront project, and let's get started in this integration that we developed. I hope you're getting to share. It's everything fine. So I'm here to talk about the Magento 2 Vue Storefront integration and the next level architecture around the Magento 2 integration. As I said, my name is Heitor. I'm a father, I'm a HTML developer, I'm a survivor of the table time. I took some professional courses to magically disappear the bugs on the code, and I'm author of 2 Vue books published by Pact. It's the Vue 3 Cookbook and Building Vue.js Applications with GraphQL. So what is Vue Storefront? Vue Storefront is the last front end you have ever need for your store. So the project is very neat. It provides you with a simple storefront and connections to everything that you need. And we have a complete stack with the latest ecosystem based for the JavaScript, and we provide a PWA headless platform for your store. And it's fast, have the best performance in the ecosystem, and we have a great community around it, providing new stuff and new features every day if possible. So as I said, you have like a lot of integrations done around Vue Storefront. We have connections to 30 parts providers like CMS, payments, or even others integrations like for security. The Vue Storefront have the fastest loading times. So the SSR provided by Next and our architecture provide on the Vue Storefront the fastest experience for your user when using the Vue Storefront as the main storefront for your store. And of course, our store is all PWA based, so you don't have to rely on having a native application for your store to use. They store on the mobile access, so everything is mobile first, and everything's designed around that. And the learning curve for the Vue Storefront, as is based on Vue, have a very low learning curve. As you say, if you took the Vue documentation and provide for a developer, in 2 weeks you'll have a Vue developer because it's too easy to understand and start developing with Vue. And it's the same for Vue Storefront. We try to provide the framework as close as possible to the Vue ecosystem, so the developer don't have any hassle trying to understand our framework as well. And as I said, we are connected to third-party service. Like, for example, for payments, you can connect with Storefront like to Adyen, Checkout.com, PayPal, Stripe, Klarna, and others, or other third-party service like Algolia, Webius, Cloudinary, or Constructor, or you can build your own. You can build your own third-party service around an extension for Vue Storefront. This creates a new way of developing a storefront that has no ties with any integration at all. And it's all designed around the performance of the performance of a storefront. So our architecture is based like to get your store on the best values for the the Google the Google Analytics and the developer experience and the user experience at all in the end. So we have like when using the Vue Storefront with the Vue Storefront Enterprise, we provide it with the best cloud solutions to provide with the final product and have a store running with the best the fastest solution and the fastest store in the market. Here in the Vue Storefront, we have the model front end, so we use the latest technologies. We are cost effective because when using Vue Storefront, our users have an increase around 20% or more. We are developer friendly because we are based around Vue and the Vue ecosystem. So the developers love to utilize Vue, as the Vue is the biggest project in GitHub as for now. And we have the flawless experience when developing for Vue Storefront, as we have a mobile first approach and everything that's done around the storefront UI, it was developed for develop a storefront with no hiccups at all. Right now, Vue Storefront is the 5th most popular e-commerce project on GitHub, and you're getting in to be in the maybe in the next year to be the 4th most popular project in the GitHub. And we are the biggest and fastest growing e-commerce front end in the GitHub right now, by far. So no other project has the community and the integrations as we have right now. And this makes us with a lot of ground for new developers to come in and to feel embraced by our community and get new knowledge, and you are able to share new knowledge with them. So let's talk about the architecture behind this and how it's been done. So we can start talking about the Magento. Having a headless architecture, you're trying to develop in separate way. We have the e-commerce platform as the base for the architecture, and we can provide the information for the items, the shop, and the core business of the e-commerce as the base for the PWA. You can have like CMSs added to the application also, and you can use headless checkouts in the same system that can provide data back to our e-commerce using our integrations. And if you want, you can plug in third-party systems or integrations that you can develop. So using Vue Storefront, you can integrate everything into one front end without any problem. So our tech stack is based on Vue, Next, of our front end is based on Storefront UI, GraphQL, and Express. We use Vue and Next because it's nowadays it's the biggest growing frameworks for front end development, and GraphQL it's like the newest API for the developers, and almost all the e-commerce now are using GraphQL as the providers. So how the Vue Storefront architecture works and how this architecture can help the developer to understand more and how this can be done. When you're developing with Vue Storefront, you have some major blocks here in the architecture where you can call this, as in the hexagonal architecture, those separate ways of data interceptions as the applications, the SaaS layer, or the UI and the core. And for starting, you have the core as the Vue Storefront, providing the data communication between three parties as the next module for our main theme on the integration, the factors or utilities for the integrations, and the factors or utilities from the API clients, where the e-commerce will be sending the data or fetching the data. The integration for the API client will happen between the composable and the next modules to send the information back to the theme under the next. And then the developer will only need to manage the next theme. They don't need to manage anything at all under the composable or the API client, because it will be done by the integrator. It's like we try to make everything separate and easier for the developer in the end. So how the Magento integration happens in this side and provide this. The Magento integration happens on the side of the API composable in the next module, as we provide the Magento integration with all the information needed for the user to access the store, as we are having everything provided for them under the API client, and the composable will fetch the information from the API client and provide to the next team, where they can use that information to develop their store, like products, categories, facets, or even the checkout. So everything is done under those three blocks, and you have those three blocks communicating between them and provide information. So when the next thing need anything, any information, any data, they go to the composable, and the composable talk to the API client, and the API client talk to the e-commerce. But you may be wondering how this can be working with the Magento, because in the first Vue Storefront, we had some custom APIs and Elasticsearch, and in this new integration, how can this work? And this new integration, it all works with the Magento GraphQL API. So in this new integration, it's very simple, because we try to be as much as possible to the stock Magento, where the developer don't need to install anything on the Magento. They just have to have a Magento installed on the version 2.4.2 or the newest version, having the GraphQL API enabled, and then the integration will do this part and fetch the information through the GraphQL API. Then we will use the GraphQL API to fetch the data and treat the data to manipulate it through the composables and provide it to the theme. And the developer will have everything there to develop the store and be able to create the new store. It's very simple, and it's very complete. It's a very complete solution where it don't need to have any separate solution at all. So how's the Magento integration running right now? We are on the 1.0 RC2 version right now, with a planned release next week, with a very robust status, where we have right now working all the categories, all the products is working, just some kind of products not working, like the custom products working, simple products working, button products working, and we're trying to finish all the products types for the production release. We have like wish list already working, and the user management is working, it's the checkout process working with money and check orders. And we're trying to make everything's ready for the stable release, and having just some minor adjustment for after the stable. Right now, we have an open roadmap in our repository with the plain issues for the each release interaction. So it's very simple for everyone to see what's planned for each release and each interaction. And it's open for the community. The project, it's open source and it's community made. It's not made by the Vue Storefront team, it's made by the community. So everyone can participate, can join, can develop in it. So we are actively looking for the community members who can help battle test this integration, can help develop this integration. You can right now use this integration to start your own project, start your own store. There's no problem at all. It's 90% ready. We have all the project running with just some minor adjustment for the production. So you can start in using already without any problem. To check the integration, if you want to develop or you want to check the code, you can go to our repository. It's github.com/Vue-Storefront/Magento2. Or if you want to start your own store, you can go to github.com/Vue-Storefront/template-Magento, or on our repository under the projects tab, you can find our roadmap there, and you can comment on the roadmap or you can comment on the issues. We are open for anyone, because we need your help of the community to get this integration up and running with the best integration out there for the Magento. It's our intention, and to be full complete as possible with all the Magento features developed in this integration. I hope I provide all the information. If not, I'm here to help you with the Q&A session and everything that everyone may have questions on it.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Heitor. That was very comprehensive. And I think the audience are already asking a few questions here. And I also see that we have a lot of interactions in the chat box as well. Somebody from your team is also helping and providing the documentation links and so on. So really loving the energy that we are starting with right now. I guess we can just jump right into the first question I'm seeing on my screen right now. Somebody is asking, is there any expected date for the release of the first production or the stable release? You did mention it's going to be next week. I think the audience would like to get a more precise date if you are able to mention it.
Yeah, the production is planned for the end of October, because we have some minor adjustments to do it. But if everything go right, it will be ready by the end of October, or can be earlier depending on the help of the community.
Okay, yeah, you did mention that this is open source, Vue Storefront. So
Yeah.
You're proactively looking for community members to contribute and help develop this. So I guess I would like to also ask one thing. Speaking of that, are there any required specific skill set or fundamentals that these engineers or community members would need to have in terms of developing Vue Storefront?
Just the knowledge of Vue and JavaScript is needed, and we'll try to help them if they have any trouble at all, because the community Discord is there. If they have any question, they can ask there. They can start the pull request, and the code can be checked by the community, and we have the code review with the community for the new pull requests and issues. And we'll try to be active and proactive with the developers that want to participate with the development of Vue Storefront or even the Magento 2 development.
Okay, yeah, wow. So you have a Discord, sort of a channel for all the community members to just freely join in and contribute.
Yeah, we have a Discord server where people can talk and get help, can have, if they have any trouble, they can find any help from the core team members, from myself, from other developers, and we'll try to be helpful to everyone there so they can have any questions answered right away if possible.
Wow. Okay. So for every developer watching this or looking for adding more projects and learning more and working with the Vue Storefront core team, you can easily join this Discord server. I think your friend is also providing all the links on the chat box right here, right now, and you can just easily navigate to the designated links through the links that are being shared. So I think we also have a few minutes if Mr. Heitor would like to share more about the Discord server or maybe the upcoming plans for the release, any certain things that we can perhaps look forward to the most?
Yeah, like we have planned for the release of on the stable version to get a version where compares with all the integrations that for PWA will be more complete than any other headless integration for Magento that provides an open source integration for Magento. We'll try to be the completest integration there. So the developer will have an open source integration with all the features, and we'll try to have for them all the features enabled by default for the community version of Magento. So they will have a complete product they can develop and they can use without any problem, and they don't have to wait until the developers to finish, because we try to get ahead of everyone and have a complete product. So it will be on the edge of the development of the headless products for e-commerce and for the Magento community as well. This is very important for us. And we want to provide, if possible later, it's a new information, it's not already out there, B2B integration for Magento 2, where people can use the B2B integration. It's not yet defined if it will be enterprise or open source, but it's being developed, the B2B integration also. After the stable integration is released, the B2B integration be started. So we have even the B2C and the B2B integration done for Magento 2. And you have the complete integration for Magento under the Vue Storefront project.
Okay, wow, thank you very much, Mr. Heitor. I think I personally have always been amazed by how open source works and how there's this community like very widely open for everybody to interact and expand their network as well by working together and developing a project that can actually bring us all into the future in full force. So thank you once again, Mr. Heitor, for the very comprehensive breakdown and for answering the questions and sharing even more as well for the audience who are watching this right now and are keen to join Vue Storefront in their future developments. Please follow the link that is already being sent on the chat box. And not to worry, you can still mingle with our speakers and talk with fellow attendees and get to know more about Vue Storefront and everything else, because the online conference platform we are using right now is made to create an experience that is very similar to how an offline conference would be. So be sure to get a lot of activity points in that as well. I think that should conclude this session for Mr. Heitor. Once again, thank you very much, Mr. Heitor.
Thank you so much. Thank everyone for this day or night, depending on time zone. See you soon, everyone. We'll be here, answer everyone on the booth and the messages.
Yes, have a nice day ahead or evening ahead. Okay.